again. And so like any of the links and stuff you'll be able to access from the presentation. All right, so we sort of started introducing ourselves, so briefly. My name is Mrs. Molina, but the students know me as Ms. Hope, which is my middle name. I'm the magnet coordinator. I've been with the Zoo Magnet for 7 years as a teacher and then magnet coordinator. So 5 years as a science teacher, and this is my 2nd year as magnet coordinator. But I started with the Zoo Magnet in fall 2002 as a 9th grade student and graduated in 2006. And then my brothers went to the Zoo Magnet and graduated in 2010, 2014, and 2019. So my family has been with the Zoo Magnet pretty consistently for almost 20 years. And so it's a place that means a lot to me. It's where I met my husband. It's been a really big part of my family, and I love it so much. I'm so excited to share with you some information about one of my favorite places on the planet and my second home. So thank you for being here. And Mr. Crow, do you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name is Martin Crow. Most people call me Marty. All my friends, which you are now my friends. And I've been at the zoo only for 3 years. And prior to that, I was working as a middle school counselor for many, many years. So I do have a pretty good understanding of where your kids are coming from at this point. And I'll be working with programming. We'll be talking about some summer options a little bit later, and we will be getting to know each other real well. And the zoo is a wonderful place. And so congratulations and welcome to the Zoo Magnet family.
And Ms. Benitez?
You're muted, Ms. Benitez.
Sorry, I had a couple windows going and I only have one screen at home. So I was trying to figure things out. Hi, everyone. I'm Kay Benitez. I'm a science teacher at the Zoo Magnet. And I went to North Hollywood High School, class of 1991. Woo, woo. My husband also, we are high school sweethearts as well. And now I have, as soon as I graduated from college, I came back to North Hollywood and I've been teaching there either at North Hollywood or at the Zoo Magnet for over 20 years. And we have 2 daughters who are going to be at the Zoo Magnet program next year. So I'm all in. Woo, zoo. And next year I will be teaching your kids environmental studies. So if you hang out all the way until the end of the presentation, there will be a tour of our beautiful 8 acres at the North Hollywood campus. And I'm just going to give you a little preview. I'll drop into the chat a link so that you can see our 7 baby goats. But you'll see more at the end of the presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Benitez. And I'm just going to give you the ability to screen share in case that comes up at any point and you need to. Oops. I'll do that right now. And then we actually have someone else who I didn't include on this slide, but was able to make it today. So our assistant principal, Ms. Ornelas, is on the line, and she's the assistant principal over the Zoo Magnet. Do you want to briefly introduce yourself, Ms. Ornelas?
Good morning, everyone. I am the assistant principal who supports the Zoo Magnet program. So I'm available if you ever have questions or support. They have a great teacher and support staff team at the Zoo Magnet. It's a great school. So welcome everyone, and we're happy to have you be part of our program.
Thank you so much. All right. So before we get too far, I want to give you a couple ways to keep in touch with announcements. So we use Remind, which is a program a lot of other teachers and schools use to just keep their families and students informed. So if you are a student coming into the 9th grade as the class of 2025, you can text the message at ZooMag 2025 to the number 81010, and that will add you to this text list. So basically you'll get text messages from us. We don't have your number or anything like that. It's just a way to keep in touch, and you can also message me directly if you need to, if you have a quick question. And then if you are a parent or family member, you can use the code there at ZoomAgFam3 to 81010. And yes, Ms. Benitez and some of our current students are also going to be answering some questions in the chat. So while I give you a second to do that, actually, do our current students want to introduce themselves? I know we have Diego, we have Juliet, we have Camila. I don't know, Diego, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go. Hi everybody. My name is Diego Reese. Currently I'm a sophomore here at the Zoo Magnet. And I think just the Zoo Magnet is a great school. Really, it's really welcoming. All the teachers, all the staff are super kind, super welcoming, and um, I think the Zoo Magnet is just a great school in general.
Hi, y'all. I'm Juliet. I'm a current sophomore at the Zoo Magnet, and I hope that you guys are super excited because the Zoo Magnet is just a great place to be.
And Juliet is also going to be the treasurer of our student leadership group in the fall. So we'll talk more about that later. Camila?
Hi, I'm Camilla, and I'm also a sophomore at Zoo Magnet, and I love Zoo Magnet. I think it's a really great school. I'm so glad that you guys are coming on campus as well. I'm so happy to meet. I'll be able to meet you guys. Well, hopefully.
Soon.
And did I miss any other current students on the line? Was Isa make it? Okay. Oh, Brie-anna, you're on the line. Do you want to say hi real quick?
Sure. Hi, I'm Brie-anna, and I'm a current sophomore at the Zoo Magnet. For me, the Zoo Magnet is not just a school, it's a family, and I really hope that you guys get to join our family and I get to meet you all.
Thank you. So one of the ways we'd like to get to know you all is through a new student survey. So you don't have to do this at this exact moment, but if you could do that sooner than later, we have a link to our new student survey, which just gives us a little bit of information so we can connect you with other students and opportunities. So, if you tell me that you're interested in joining dance team, I can make sure to follow up with that and that you get the information on how to join dance team, right? So it's just to give us, again, a little bit of information about you. And it is, that's the link. So it's just a bit.ly and then /zoo 2025. What we did last year, because we weren't able to meet in person the way we normally were, and I know that we're still hoping that we'll be able to do something in the summer right before school starts. That's actually in person. But since we don't have that officially set yet, what we did last year with this information was we created a map of the students from to kind of give people a virtual way of connecting with one another. This isn't going to be, whoops, let me see if I can open this for you to see real quick. It doesn't have any like way for people to find you. We just do it based on zip code. And basically what it does is you can see just some first name, last initial, some of the information that they shared about their hobbies and stuff like that. And this way you can kind of look at this map and see like, oh, who lives near me? Who might be someone I might see on the bus or someone who might be a good carpool buddy, right? So you can start kind of making those connections. So if when you do the survey, there's an option about whether or not you want to be included in this map. You don't have to be, but if you choose to be included on this map, I'll send this out to the community of students coming in. And you can just kind of get to know who your colleagues are and where they're coming from and who you might have common interests with and things like that. And then when you come in, you just have that little bit of understanding with one another at the beginning of the year. So that is the link one more time for the new student survey. So when you get a chance, hopefully maybe sometime today or soon, you can complete that. And we'll put out that map probably at the end of the month, maybe a little bit sooner. Yeah, depending on people filling it out. So thank you. Okay. All right, so next we want to talk a little bit about the two campus situation. I saw there's already a question in the chat about the classes at North Hollywood and kind of how that works. So we do have two campuses. The Zoo Magnet, this is a mural at the Zoo Magnet behind me. It's not, this is virtual, but the Zoo Magnet is located adjacent to the LA Zoo in the parking lot here. And it is, sorry, over here. We're a small campus. If you've ever been to the zoo on a busy weekend when the parking lot is full, we're in the overflow parking lot right here, right? And we're just 3 little bungalows, 9 classrooms, 10 teachers, a little lunch area and quad, and we just have our own little kind of space there. So I know we haven't been able to do a proper tour, so I just wanted to show a quick walkthrough video so you can at least see kind of what it's like, and then I'll kind of talk you through a little bit of it here. So this video's not too long, but it gives us just a sense of like what the campus is like. So this is just the drive into the campus. So you know how you kind of have to get into it from Crystal Springs. Like as the road turns, you go straight into the parking lot. And then this is the entrance. So if you have missed it before, that's okay. It's maybe easy to miss. So this is our quad, just right when you come in to the campus. This is like the central area where we have like our Halloween costume contest and club day and stuff like that. So like people will table out here and get students to sign up for their clubs. So just kind of coming down the first row of bungalows here. This is room 1 where we have our chemistry class, and then room 2 is biology. This is just coming up the ramp to the office. These tiles were made by a parent, and so these are just from previous donors to our school. So just bopping into the office really quickly. We have all of our previous year graduating classes up on our wall here. Right, that one's my year right there. So coming down, there's that mural that you see in our background. I apologize for the flashing. The sun was coming through the trees there. Student restrooms are here on this side, and then we just loop around the corner. So this is our math classroom currently. We have our Spanish teacher in this room, room 9, and then one of our social science teachers in this room. And at the end of the hall, we have another math teacher. So we have 2 math teachers, 2 social science teachers, 3 science teachers, and 1 Spanish teacher on our campus. And this is another mural we have on our campus. And then that brings us right here into, there's a lot to say about this mural that we won't get into today, into our lunch area here. So this is where students can come out to eat lunch, but they also usually like hang out in the quad and all of that. The snack shack is like our little student store where we sell anything that the North Hollywood Student Store sells. Any like LAUSD approved snacks. It's completely student run, and the actual building was a gift from the class of 2001. So yeah, students are welcome to eat out in the lunch area. They might also just go out into the quad, or we're gonna see the outside area. We have the field. Sometimes students hang out in their teachers' classrooms, so it's pretty open. They don't like have to sit in the lunch area. And I see some questions in the chat. We are gonna be looking at some sample schedules so you can get more information about what your classes may look like in the fall. So this is the field I was mentioning. So this is actually owned by Griffith Park, but our students have access to that during the day at nutrition and lunch. So the Witherby Auditorium is actually at the LA Zoo, and this is a space that we use for assemblies, presentations, special meetings, class assemblies, things like that. So we just walk across the street to the Witherby Auditorium, and we can reserve this space for some of our meetings. The Adventure Theater, if you've ever been like near the petting zoo and all of that at the LA Zoo, that's where the Adventure Theater is, and that's where we have like our fall welcome assembly. And sometimes, you know, if we do something in the spring, we'll do it there as well. So we have the students sit up here, and then we have, you know, we'll like introduce our teachers and, you know, talk about some different opportunities here on the stage. So that's just a little bit of an introduction to our campus. And the other campus is the North Hollywood campus. So, oh, and I almost forgot. So I'll do that in a second. The North Hollywood campus has been around since the 1920s, but it's actually going through a huge modernization project. And so this is actually an aerial of what it's going to look like once the modernization. Yeah, I think you're right, Ms. Benitez. I think it was 29 or around there. It's a very old school, but like I said, we're going through this really great modernization project. They're building brand new, like state-of-the-art science classrooms. They're building like all these great new sports facilities and spaces, a lot of green spaces and like natural walkways and so forth. So this is what it will look like. And I did include a link here to the full modernization project, like outline timeline of everything that's going to be happening. So you can check that out if you're interested in more information about that. So the expected completion is probably around when your students are getting ready to graduate. So they may be able to get like the full experience of this at the end. But let's go on a quick tour of the North Hollywood campus. This is Mr. Rosales, our principal.
North Hollywood is a special place. We're very diverse. There's so many different programs. There's something for everybody at our school.
We're one of the few schools here in LA that actually has animals, so I teach animal science 1 and 2 and 3. And what that is, we work with animals hands-on on understanding vet terms, vet science, and understanding the animal itself, how to feed them, how to take care of them, and proper health of the animals. It is a full-function 8-acre farm with 3 acres of garden and 5 acres of animals. So we have a full running farm as well.
What I like most about the North Hollywood High School community is that they're far more welcoming than you would expect. They just have everything for everyone, and you can never be left out. They have baseball, softball, football, golf, tennis, basketball, archery, and so many more I can't think of.
So here at the College Center, pretty much our job is to ensure that students know their pathways to higher education. Our job is to ensure that they're informed about what their APG requirements are, how they take college entrance exams, and we carry them through the process from being a freshman to a senior so that nobody feels in the dark about what their higher education options are. The College Center throws like financial aid workshops or UC application, CSU application workshops every Tuesday after school so that students do have a place to work on their application.
North Hollywood has a sense that you are not just by yourself out there. Here, I feel as if I'm part of a team. I know that the teachers I work with have my back and I have their back, and that we are part of working towards something bigger. Seeing the kids finally wake up, seeing the light turn on, and seeing them mature and grow. Seeing that growth is the best part of my job.
You feel like you can fit in here because there's like a little bit of everything. I'm glad to be part of the programs that I am here. The later after school leadership, our student youth, the theater department. I always feel like there's never a dull moment.
Administrators and everything, you know, they've been very helpful with, you know, guiding me to graduation, and it's kind of sad to say goodbye to them.
Honestly, it's been the greatest experience of my life. I got to meet the best friends I'm ever gonna have. I got to be intellectually challenged by people, and I got to have a high school experience that I'm never gonna forget.
Best part?
Yeah.
It's just friends, you know? Yeah, for like the community and the baseball team, what I like most about it is that we're all brothers, we have a brotherhood.
Just that you have bond with certain people that just help you out. That's just what it is.
You know what? One thing, I'm very proud to be the principal here at North Hollywood. You know, we excel in many different things, academic teams in the classroom. Our test scores are always moving up and improving. But it's just from College Center to the front office, it's just a home away from home for many of our students.
Okay, I think that's all.
Plenty?
Yes.
And then you edit it up.
Yes. Thank you.
So I know none of this is quite the same as having an actual physical tour, but hopefully that gives you a little bit of an introduction to our schools and our campuses, and hopefully we'll be seeing all those in person sooner than later. So briefly on the busing between the two campuses. So the two campuses are 11 minutes away, 7 miles. It's not too bad of a trek. On the bus, it takes closer to 15 minutes just because buses move a little bit more slowly, but it's a pretty quick drive between the two. Buses travel from North Hollywood to the zoo twice a day. So in the morning, if you are closer to North Hollywood High School and your student starts their classes at the Zoo Magnet, you can drop off at North Hollywood and they can take a bus to the zoo. Ninth graders usually start their day at the North Hollywood campus. So you have the option of either dropping off directly at the Zoo Magnet campus, or sorry, at the North Hollywood campus, or if they take a home route bus from wherever you are, then they will get dropped off at the North Hollywood campus in the morning. But for our students who start at the Zoo Magnet, there is a bus that brings them over from North Hollywood to the zoo, or once your student starts that, they can get dropped off directly at the Zoo Magnet campus if that's more convenient. Nutrition, the students who have first and second period at North Hollywood will hop on a bus to get to the Zoo Magnet campus. And then going the other way from the Zoo Magnet to North Hollywood, we send students who have fifth and sixth period at the North Hollywood campus over to North Hollywood at lunch. So they eat their lunch at the Zoo Magnet. All students eat lunch at the Zoo Magnet campus. And then after their lunch, they hop on a bus and head over to North Hollywood if they have fifth and sixth period at North Hollywood. And then at the end of the day, any students who are remaining at the Zoo Magnet campus will get bused over to North Hollywood to catch their home route buses or get picked up directly from that campus. You can pick up from the Zoo Magnet campus if your student finishes their day there, but we don't have after school supervision. So we ask that you pick up your student basically right after school. Otherwise, we may send them off to like the LA Zoo where there's at least like security in a public place, because otherwise we're just kind of like in the park, right? And we don't want your students waiting out there. So that's kind of how the buses move normally. And you may notice that there's no bus that would allow students to take classes in the middle of the day at North Hollywood. So all of our students take either their first and second period classes at North Hollywood, and then the rest of them at the Zoo Magnet, or they take their fifth and sixth period classes at North Hollywood. We currently don't have a system in place for students to take third and fourth period at the North Hollywood campus. If a student misses the bus, you should report to the office. So if you're at North Hollywood and you miss the bus, you can report to the North Hollywood office and they'll let us know. If you're at the Zoo Magnet and you miss the bus, you'll come to our office. Sometimes we can get a bus to come back and grab you. Sometimes we can't. And in that case, you just kind of have to hang out in the office. So make sure that you're looking out for those things. At North Hollywood, just as soon as your second period class ends, you head directly to the buses. For the lunch bus, if you're at the Zoo Magnet heading to North Hollywood, we ring a little bus bell to let you know that it's time to head out to the buses. It's a little double bell. So that's a little bit on just the shuttle buses, and then for home route buses. So if you live more than if you live outside of a 5-mile radius of the North Hollywood High School campus, not the Zoo Magnet campus, but the North Hollywood High School campus, then you are eligible for transportation. The bus usually picks you up at a local high school or middle school, and then takes you to the North Hollywood campus, as we mentioned. The pickup and drop-off locations and times go out in August, usually the week before school starts. And I know a lot of us who are planners hate having to wait that long for that information, but they send it out at that time so that you don't lose it. between when you get it and when school starts, and it does take them time to actually build those routes. So you can look out for that information in August. It is possible if, for example, you have maybe 2 different houses to navigate, it is possible to fill out a dual stop form if you need to get off at a different stop at the end of the day. And if this is something that's going to be long term, like, okay, all semester on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I need to get off on this stop instead of that stop, you can arrange for that. So there's a form for that. As I mentioned, all home rail buses arrive and leave. So arrive at and leave from the North Hollywood campus on Colfax Avenue. So they don't, none of them leave from the Zoo Magnet campus. They're all going there first or leaving from there last. So we do have late buses available after school Monday through, I think it's actually Monday through Thursday. I might need to fix that. But they leave at 6:15. It does combine routes, so that's a longer route, so it may take longer to get home. So if your student is planning on taking the late bus, it's definitely a good idea to like pack a snack or something for them because it's a longer bus ride. If you have questions about transportation, so say for example, it's like 3 days before school starts and you still haven't gotten anything in the mail about transportation and you are certain you qualify or whatever, you can call 1-800-LA-BUSES and ask them questions. That's also the number you would call if your bus was late or didn't show up. If there's any issues with the buses, that's the number for transportation and they can help you out.
And I'll jump in here just real quick. Those late buses would apply to students who are taking or in a sport. So if they have after school practice, because all sports are after school, they're not embedded in a PE program. All students take PE and sports are embedded in that. Sometimes, who knows if there's in-person tutoring or clubs at activities after school. So that's part of what those late buses would apply to.
Exactly. So if they have, tutoring, sports practices or music or anything, any after school activities, that's exactly what that's for. Okay, perfect. Great. So I'm actually going to turn it over now to Mr. Stone, who is the president of our parent council, Greg Stone, to talk a little bit about opportunities for parent involvement in our parent council.
Yeah, hi. Can everyone hear me okay? Is that good? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, first of all, just want to say congratulations to all of you for getting accepted. I know it's hard with the lottery and you're lucky. It's a great school, small class sizes and, incredible location, so beautiful in the middle of the park and really unique opportunities. Getting to do stuff in the park and the zoo and all the stuff in Miss Benitez's class with the animals and the ag area is something you just don't get at any other school. The Zoo Magnet Parent Council, we're a booster club, which means we're mainly there for fundraising and volunteering. We support the teachers, staff, and students to enhance the learning environment in any way we can. We raise money. Some of the things we spend money on is buying classroom supplies, sometimes online programs. We'll buy snacks or pizza for campus cleanup days and other events. We'll buy coffee and bagels or donuts for the coffee with the coordinator meetings. We'll buy food and appreciation gifts for speakers on Career Day or Earth Day. At the end of the year, we have a teacher appreciation lunch, and we also invite the zookeepers and other people that have helped the school. We give them lunch and gifts. This year and some years we buy gifts for the graduating seniors, but especially this year and last year, since they missed so many of the events of their senior year, we wanted to, give them something special. One year we paid for a program for an opera at the Autry Museum. We helped buy food for the dances. We paid for a field trip for sophomores to go to the observatory, see a movie. And one of the most important things we do is we want to make sure that every student can go on the junior college trip and the senior trip. regardless of their ability to pay. So we raise money, help pay for chaperones, buses, and if any student has problem paying, we help them out and want to make sure everyone can go. So our main goal is raising money, which is not easy. LAUSD makes it, there's a lot of rules. So we can't have students helping sell things to raise money. We can't be on the school grounds to raise money. So we're mainly asking parents for donations. We'll have a fund drive, and there's a mural at the school with trees and silhouettes of animals, and there's different color leaves. Depending on how much people donate, you can get a different leaf with your name on it there. And we also, in the past, we haven't been able to the last 2 years because of the quarantine, but we had a bingo fundraiser where we raised quite a bit of money doing that. We also sell a few items occasionally outside of the school grounds, but it's mostly we rely on donations. So we really appreciate that. I'd appreciate if everyone would sign up for a monthly newsletter. To do that, go to the Zoom Magnet website. I think, does everyone know the website, or Ms. Hope?
Yeah, it's all
chat?
here on how to do it. I also dropped the link directly to sign up for the newsletter in the chat.
Oh, there it is. Great. Yeah, sign up for the newsletter. There it is. She already has it there. Yeah, go to parents and then ZMPC. Then at the top, it just says sign up for a newsletter. Click on that. You can put in your information. The school's not allowed to give us your email address. So that's the only way we can get you on our mailing list. And yeah, another way we raise money without costing anybody anything is through Amazon Smile and Ralph's Rewards Clubs. If you could sign up if you shop on Amazon, which a lot of people have this last year or so, a lot, or if you go to Ralph's, sign up there, and then a small percentage of whatever you spend, they send money to us, and it's an easy way for us to raise money. Our meetings are on the second Thursday of every month at 6 o'clock on the Zoom Magnet campus. We just had elections, but we don't have a secretary. So if any of you are interested in being a secretary, and if you're able to come to our meetings, and if you could also come and help out at some of the events, that'd be great. But mainly taking minutes at the meetings, we're looking for someone. So it'd be great to get some new blood in there, someone that's going to be there for a while. I didn't mention, this is next year will be my last year. I've had one son that graduated a year ago, and my other son is a junior. So we have one more year there. If you have any questions, my email is on the website too. You could, there's a Zoom Magnet email address or my private email address. So either one, you could write. And if you have any questions, we can help you out there. Any questions about parent council?
Greg, what time are the meetings? They're once a month on Thursdays, right? And then what time?
Yeah, 6 p.m.
6 o'clock.
Yeah. You can see the screen, right? Okay. I have it on here.
Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody.
Great. Thank you so much, Greg. We really appreciate you. And yeah, please sign up for the newsletter, because it's not just, information about fundraising stuff. It's information about the school. They send out a monthly newsletter, and it gives information about important dates and events and stuff that's going on with the schools generally. So it's a really great newsletter to be a part of, just so that you keep aware of things like, if there's deadlines to sign up for AP exams, or if there's going to be a great workshop going on with the college center, so things like that end up on the newsletter. So it's great to be a part of that. So please sign up for the newsletter. Okay. Also, we are selling Zoom Magnet shirts now through June 18th online. Thank you, Greg. Greg is modeling one for us right now. So it just has the logo for the Zoom Magnet. We have black short sleeve shirts, royal blue short sleeve shirts, and then both of those also in long sleeves. So if you're interested in buying one so that you come onto campus with your Zoo Magnet swag and you're ready for the year, that's available here. It's just bit.ly/ZMPC shirt. And thank you, Ms. Benitez, for putting that in the chat. I'm going to actually turn it over to Mr. Crow, who's going to talk to you now a little bit about course requirements and what to expect for ninth grade in terms of your class schedule, health, summer school, things like that. So Mr. Crow, the floor is yours.
Okay, can we go to the next slide? So, all of our students are going to complete the A through G requirements for not only LAUSD and A through G. It's kind of funky, but A through G, there are requirements to graduate from high school. Then there are A through G requirements that apply more to the University of California, Cal State's private colleges. But these categories here, A is history, social science, B, English, and so forth. And all of our students take actually 3 years of social studies. So they'll be taking, not during the freshman year, but they'll be taking world history, US history, then they take government and economics. All students take 4 years, and this is all students. All students take 4 years of English, and all students are taking 3 years of math. And the way that that is set up is that they're taking 3 years of math on a high school campus. That would be the expectation. So meaning that if they have algebra in 8th grade and they have geometry as a 9th grader, they would take geometry, algebra 2, and pre-calc. 2 years of laboratory science. And these are minimums that I'm talking about at this moment, but 2 years of language other than English for us. The option that we have here at the zoo is Spanish at the moment. They have to take a visual or performing arts elective, and that is usually done during their junior or senior year. And college preparatory classes here at the zoo, these are embedded in their program. They're embedded in the program at the main campus as well, but at the zoo with all of the science electives that we have, this G requirement, the college preparatory electives, that is fulfilled. And there's never a problem accessing any of those courses. And pretty much if they're following along, well, here we go. What this doesn't say is, and this is for college, but also the government and econ, all students take as a senior. So when we look at something like this, these are minimums. And ideally, when I'm having conversations with you as parents and with students, I'm thinking about 4 years from now or 3.5 years from now when they're applying to college. And so these are bare minimums, and we want, in this competitive environment with college applications, we want, and generally here at the zoo, our students take many more classes than just the minimum. And that's the ideal expectation. And we have students who are at all levels, but that's what we kind of think about. And again, minimum this is for the UC Cal State system, minimum of 2 years of history, 4 years of English, 3 years of math, the 2 years of lab science, 2 years of foreign language, the visual performing arts, and the college prep elective. But again, those are minimums. And also when we talk about meeting A through G standards, for high school graduation only, a D or better is passing. But when you're looking at college applications, they do not accept Ds for classes. So basically, a D is equal to a fail on a college application. So we are always keeping that in mind and wanting our students to as well.
We'll move into ninth grade classes.
Now, a couple other things I want to mention is that the A through G requirements are applying to LAUSD, Cal State, and UC, but there are also some state requirements that are required to graduate from high school, and that would be PE, physical education is one, and it's 2 years are required. And then the health requirement, which I will get to in a minute. So this is an example of a freshman schedule. So periods 1 and 2, and this part is fairly accurate, although period 2, they may be flip-flopped, but environmental studies, and that's the class that Ms. Benitez was discussing earlier, and she teaches it, and she's wonderful. And they take physical education on the main campus. And we do not have physical education here in Griffith Park. So that's part of the reason that they are required to be on the main campus. And then they have nutrition at this time. They will be leaving. The nutrition bell will ring on the main campus, and they will basically be leaving at that time, getting on the commuter bus, the transfer bus over here, and spend the 15 minutes to come to our campus and arrive here during period 11. We do have a slide that discusses this coming up, right, Ms. Molina? And then they will take, yeah, so I'll get to that. So then they will take, and these are not necessarily in order here, but they will take Spanish, biology, and it could be Spanish 2 if they're in Spanish 1 at this time in middle school. If they're in Spanish 1 and getting a C or better, I generally use that as a guideline. And I know that this year is a different year, but that's generally the guideline that I'll be using. In biology, English, and then algebra 1, it's possible that they may be in geometry if they're doing well in their algebra 1 class as an 8th grader. And then this gets a little confusing because when we talk, I mean, it just comes out naturally, period 1, period 2, period 3, period through 6. Okay, period 1 through 6, these are periods that are designated on basically every campus, but these are for the main campus. I cannot enroll, for example, a zoo student during period 3 because it conflicts with what's called the MISIS system. It conflicts with how it's read in the system. So we call our period 1 period 9. 2 is 10, 3 is 11, 4 is 12, 5 is 13, and period 6 is 14. So if I'm having an email with a student or discussing a class with a student and he says period 6 and I say period 14, we mean the same thing. So just something to keep in mind. It is a little confusing because you might get a schedule. Well, you will be getting a schedule mailed out, I believe, in the summer or on Schoology, and it will say period 1, 2, and then 11. And that's not a mistake. Okay, and we just discussed that. Are there any questions at this point? I haven't read the chat, but are there any questions?
No questions in the chat, Mr. Crow.
Okay. Health. So due to the small size of the Zoom magnet, we do not have a health course embedded in our program here. And so all of our students take health through an outside program, outside of the Zoom magnet schedule. And we strongly encourage parents and students to take care of their health requirement during this summer, the summer before their 9th grade year. That will count as a high school class. Now, the way it has been traditionally done during the summer is through, and I put this program, which is Opportunities for Learning up, but there are other programs as long as they are accredited and LAUSD, and they can tell you that LAUSD accepts their credits. But it's called Opportunities for Learning. And this is just one of the ways to do it. And if you are interested in this program, you can just Google OFL. I have discussed this. They changed the way that the application is done this year. So I've discussed it with the Reseda site. So I know for sure that they are in sync with me here. And you can Google an online application, or if you have questions, you can, this is the summer school number here, the 818-206-0040. Health is the only class that is approved for incoming 9th graders over the summer. So if you go online and you look at it, prior to this year, students, we did it by paper, and student would have to bring me a piece of paper and I would sign off on it. And I would write a little note saying that health was the only class accepted. But if you go online now, there are going to be other classes that are offered through their program or any other program that you might access. But health is the only class for incoming ninth graders that is accepted for this summer. So ideally, that is taken care of over the summer. I'll be honest with you, a lot of us are saying, you know what, summer, COVID, 2020, 2021, I need the summer off. There are other ways to make this program up. One is called Edgenuity, which we have an Edgenuity program on the North Hollywood campus.
And I'm sorry, the OSL, that's online only, the whole program, right?
I believe so, although I did talk, a parent spoke with a different site and they were doing that. She said that they were going to do it in person, but my understanding is that it's online.
Sorry, you were talking about Edgenuity.
So we do have other ways to do it. I have a couple frantic, well, I don't even want to go into it, but there are other ways to do it, but it certainly is something that you should take care of earlier. And we don't want our seniors having to throw on an extra class when they want to focus on graduating and not have to stress out about one of the requirements to graduate. And health is a requirement to graduate. Now, here's the other thing. I believe that all of you recently received a notification that the counselors were a little bit surprised at how it was worded, but basically it says, welcome to Edgenuity. And it's a summer program that is not connected to the North Hollywood High School. It is a summer program that health is one of the offerings. And again, through this program, only health is being accepted by me or approved by me for the incoming ninth graders. There is, I just saw it a day, maybe Thursday, students were emailing me saying, Mr. Crow, it says I'm signed up for a class, but I'm a graduating senior. Are you telling me that I didn't have enough credits? No. But there, on that side, I believe there was a tutorial about how to sign up. You would have to email me, and our emails are in this presentation. Email me requesting to take that health course, and then I can enroll you in that course. Although I am still learning the
two
steps.
questions in the chat. One is, can you take health at a community college?
That's a really good question. Yes, you can. So that can be done. Just be aware that those classes are taught at a community college level, but that is acceptable.
Also, make sure you run it by Mr. Crow because you want to make sure you're taking the one that actually satisfies the requirement.
Correct.
And then another question says, are there other classes students can take during the summer?
Well, the other classes are classes, there are enrichment courses that are through this same Edgenuity program that I just was speaking of, the non-North Hollywood one, that their 8th grade counselor can sign them up for. That is the preferable route, and there is a program for, and it's a very, it's an intensive program. It's 5 weeks long. It is a math program through Mission College. And if you are interested in that, you can email me and we can discuss that.
Do you know the title of the health class on opportunities for learning? Someone is asking, is it the skills for health elective, or do you know what the title is there?
No, give me 1 second here. Health A, but you would want to make sure that you are enrolled in the health class that requires the LAUSD, that satisfies the LAUSD requirements. So communicating with them just to make sure that's important. And if you're going through the site, the Reseda site here through Opportunities for Learning, They know. I have had a conversation with their summer coordinator, and they know which class that North Hollywood High School and LAUSD accepts.
There's two other questions in the chat. How long does it take to complete the health course? And yes, health class is different from physical education. Physical education is a 2-year requirement that has to be taken during the school year and has a required number of minutes that students complete. Health is a 1-semester course. And so how long does it take to complete the health course if you're doing it like through OFL?
You know, you would have to contact them. I'm not sure about their timeline. I don't know if it's a program where you can go at your own pace and go through it quickly, or that they have a set time, but you would have to contact them. The other thing about OFL is once you do complete the class, if you do take that and you do complete it there, you will then need to request an official transcript. And I always say request to have it in a sealed envelope, and then you have to bring that in, and so that we can then post it onto transcripts.
Great. Thank you. And I did put Mr. Crow's email in the chat, and it is on this presentation. So if you have more questions about health or summer school, you can contact him. So did you want to add something, Ms. Benitez?
Oh yeah, I just want to know, because we have a bunch of current zoo kids in here who have already completed their health. How long did it take you to finish?
I took health through Edgenuity, and I would go like after school. And if you like really focus and concentrate, you can get it done like within a month. I was able to do it in like 2 weeks.
And you did that as a
and some of
9th
the
grader,
kids-
not over the summer, right?
Yeah.
And some of the kids have some answers in the chat as well. Go ahead.
One benefit of doing it through our Edgenuity program, although it is, you know, an extra, it's not overburdensome, but it's an extra class. But one benefit is that the transcript is directly accessible to us. So you don't then have to order a transcript.
Thank you. So I do
And
want to
I'm
move
also
forward
putting my phone
with.
number. I'm putting my phone number.
Thank you, Mr. Crow. And so I want to move forward with the agenda because we are just 5 minutes from our scheduled end time, and we still have quite a bit to cover. So please contact Mr. Crow if you have additional questions about health or summer school. So I just want to briefly talk about our academic rigor and expectations. So we are a program with a science emphasis. So please make sure that you're prepared to bring your science minds to school. We have a 100% graduation rate, and that's in part because we are not going to let you fall through the cracks. We will be making sure to check in with you. Please utilize the resources that we have. Please connect with your teachers. We want to make sure that everyone can be successful through to graduation. We do have a college preparatory curriculum, so we offer AP courses and advanced elective courses that are taught at a college level, even if they are not AP courses, such as animal behavior. So being prepared for that. We use Schoology, and that is district wide. It was newer a few years ago, but I think at this point, if you're coming from an LUSD school, you should be familiar. If you are coming from outside the district, you will set up an account through Parent Portal, and I can put that link in the chat for us because that is something that you will 100% need when we start off. So great. And briefly on our community service requirements. So there is a service learning requirement for graduation. The way we do that is by requiring a minimum of 10 hours of community service per year. Community service is basically any volunteer work completed with an outside organization, you know, like a nonprofit organization, for example. It should be unpaid work, and you must complete a minimum of 40 hours by senior year. Now, that doesn't mean you can do 40 hours freshman year and then never do community service again. You have to do that 10 hours at least every school year. So if you did 40 hours in 9th grade, you would still need to do 10 more hours in 10th grade and 10 more hours in 11th grade, and so on. We use a program called Track It Forward to track and report our hours. So you can set up your account with the link I just posted in the chat. We have opportunities on zoomagnet.org for how to earn service learning and hours. And then the one program that we work closely with is the Zoo Student Volunteer Program, which is offered through the LA Zoo to 9th and 10th graders. So usually they have an application deadline in October, and then students complete training through I think it's 12 weeks of training through starting in November. and then they become volunteers and they can go to the zoo and educate the public about animals and answer questions and do kind of like tours and stuff like that. So I did put the link for the Zoo Student Volunteer Program here in the presentation. I'll drop it in the chat if you want to learn more about that. They didn't have the program available this school year, but there, now that the zoo is open again, we're hoping that that will be up and running again for your ninth graders. So. Okay, I know that there's lots of questions around athletics. We don't have a lot of information yet about what the 21-22 seasons are going to look like for various sports, but you can go to, actually, I'm not sure if that link is good for this year, but you can keep track on the athletics page on the North Hollywood website for more information about things like tryouts and when all that is going to become available. I was told by our athletic director that on Tuesday, he will have more information for me. So what I'm going to do is hold off on sending out this recording and presentation and follow-up email until after I get more information from the athletics director about summer and tryouts and athletics. And then that way I can include that information in the follow-up email to this presentation. If you're interested in music, we have lots of different music groups, including band. Katie was in dance team, which works with our band. We have marching band in fall semester and concert band in the spring semester, and marching band does count for PE credit. We also have a jazz band 0 period that meets before school starts. So there are no buses to get you there. So you would have to have a way to get to school early. We have an indoor drum line that has after school practices. They don't meet during a class period in the day. They only have after school practices. And then we also have a symphony orchestra, but that is during 4th period, which we currently don't have busing available for students to participate in. So you might want to look at maybe a different music option. If you are interested in our music program, you can fill out this interest form for Mr. Sharp, our music director. And you can also visit royalregiment.org for more information about the program. So finally, as we wrap up here, I'm exactly at 11:30. We have a couple of things. If you're able to stay on a little bit longer, we do have a video tour of the ag area, like Ms. Benitez said. So we'd like to be able to play that for you. So if you can stay on maybe 15 more minutes, we can get through everything. But briefly, we do have a student leadership group known as Zoo Crew. It's a collective of students from 9th through 12th grade representing the interests, concerns, and needs and well-being of the Zoo Magnet student body. Their mission is to build and maintain community between and within our diverse student body by planning and hosting various student-led events and supporting students socially and academically. The vision is to engage, honor, and uplift student voice and represent the needs and interests of the diverse student body of North Hollywood Zoo Magnet, recognizing age, socioeconomic, racial, ethnic, religious, linguistic, and ability diversity, and seeking to ensure that all students are heard, supported, and respected in our school. I am the sponsor for Zoo Crew. We have Katie Mano on the line, who is the current graduating Zoo Crew president. So we do have an executive board of elected officials and then grade level officers, 2 for each grade. 2 representatives, 2 senators, 2 historians in each grade level, including 9th grade. So our executive board has already been elected for next school year. As I mentioned, Juliet is a treasurer. We have Katie and Lisbeth in the room, who are the current graduating president and secretary, respectively. But if you're interested, you can apply an interview for one of these positions for the 9th grade class. And these are our officers for next school year. We're looking for 2 each of representatives, senators, and historians. If you're interested, this is what those offices do. So representatives make sure that they are in touch with the needs and interests of their class, and they bring that into discussions in Zoo Crew. Senators do the opposite. They make sure that information we decide in Zoo Crew goes out to the class and that everyone is informed about events. They also organize and carry out grade level events and fundraisers. And historians help to create the Zoo Magnet yearbook and make sure that every student is represented. So if you're interested in applying, the application deadline is going to be, I believe, it's on there, June 30th. And the application is here. So if you would like to apply, you basically are just going to need a copy of your 8th grade report card. So that's why we give you until the end of the month. And then the prompt that you'll respond to in there is just in 200, 300 words, describe your motivation and qualifications for Zoo Crew office. So if you want to start working on that by the end of June that is what you can do to apply. I'm going to just briefly mention that we do have an ambassador program of students who are, some of whom are in the room helping to answer questions. Just a reminder, if you didn't get this at the beginning of the presentation, please sign up for our reminder group so that we can get you important information as it becomes available directly. And order your Zoom Magnet shirt. Once again, here's the link. The form closes on June 18th. And I just wanted to give, let me see, did I just mess with things? No, here we go. This is just a brief video with some advice for our incoming students.
My advice is you guys should go to everything, like the events and all these dances. They're really helpful to meet new people and just have fun. And you know, me and my friend Will, we've had blasts at these dances and just done a lot of things that are really fun over our years. And we kind of wish we've been to more, you know. And my second piece is just spread positivity, guys. Positivity is really important and it helps everyone.
Some advice I would like to give to the incoming freshmen is know that you guys can take a break every once in a while. I know coming into high school can be super intimidating, but there's always someone to talk to, and in the end, it'll be okay.
Some advice I would give to the incoming students is to make friends with all of your classmates. This is really important since the school is
and in the end, it'll be okay.
Some advice I would give to the incoming students is to make friends with all of your classmates. This is really important since the school is so small and you'll be seeing everybody almost every single day and for the rest of your 4 years here. You'll also never know who may need your help or whose help you may need.
High school can be very scary once you're entering, so some advice I would like to give to new students are please do not be afraid to take risks. There are so many clubs, programs you can do, so please do not be afraid to apply for them, try out for any sports you want, because trust me, in the end, it'll definitely be worth the experience.
My advice to new students would be don't be afraid to ask any questions or ask for help whenever you need. A lot of the students and teachers are very understanding, or they have been in the same boat as you, so they know how to help you through any situations you may find yourself in. A lot of them are also very friendly and very smart, so they can help you with any questions that have to do with your academics, your mental, social, or emotional health. All you need to do is just ask for help, and someone will be there to help you.
My first piece of advice is do an extracurricular activity after school. Alright, it could be sports, it could be band, it could be anything that you're interested in, but you're going to have a lot of free time at first, and it's good to have something to fill up that empty space. Second bit of advice, build a close relationship with those around you. High school, it's a roller coaster. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, but when you're not at your highest point, it's good to have a close friend that you can talk to.
I'll let you know that you shouldn't really worry about anything or like be stressing about what's going to happen next year, because honestly everything's going to turn out way better than what you're imagining in your head right now. Because when I was going to the freshman year at Zoom Magnet, I was so stressed out. I was thinking, wow, what if no one likes me? What if everyone's supposed to hate me? And everyone's like, but but then I noticed that everyone in the community is so accepting, and you can just be who you are and they'll all be okay with it. So don't be afraid to be who you are.
My advice for new students is to find a close-knit friends. Definitely build that family. The campus is small and you really make close people that you keep with you for a lifetime.
So here's some important contacts for you to have. But thank you all so much for joining us today. And hopefully you can take some of that advice that our current students and former students had to offer to you. Please don't hesitate to email or call us. So the Zoom Magnet office phone number is there. My email, Mr. Crow's email, Mr. Nello's is even on there, and Mr. Chavez, who once we get closer, you know, if there are questions about Chromebooks, textbooks, stuff like that. But here's just lots of information. Again, you hopefully have the link to the presentation. I'll also be sending that out in the follow-up email so you can have this contact information as needed. And I'm going to ask you to go ahead and email me any questions that you have. Thank you for joining us and welcome, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at NHHS Zoo Magnet for fun pictures and stuff about what's going on with our school. And then if you need to leave, as I mentioned, I completely understand. I want to be respectful of folks' time. We appreciate you very much. I'm just going to play this video from the ag area. It's a campus tour video. Cannot be okay, and I will play it right now as soon as I fix it.
Hi, class of 2024. My name is Ms. Benitez, and I am going to be your environmental studies teacher. I have been part of the Zoo Magnet for 11 years, and before that, I was part of the North Hollywood campus for 13 years. And then before that, I was a student at North Hollywood High School. So I've been part of this community for a really long time. I really love it here. And this is my room in the agriculture area on the North Hollywood campus. This is it. This is where all the magic happens. So I'm going to continue to give you a tour of the agriculture area. It is the biggest agriculture area in all of Los Angeles Unified School District. So you guys are super lucky because we have so many animals here. We have 8 acres. There are 3 acres on the side where our classroom is. And then just right across the parking lot, not the parking lot, it's like a little pathway. There's another 5 acres where we have all of the animals. So here we go. Here's a tour.
Hello, my name is Andrew LaFleur, and I am the agriculture teacher here at North Hollywood High School. I teach animal science and horticulture, so hopefully you'll be able to enjoy the ag area today with Ms. Benitez. Thank you guys, enjoy. This was originally the actual feed barn. This was designed to hold all the feed for North Hollywood's ag department from 1927 till around 1983.
So cool. This is it. Is it okay if I walk through?
Yeah.
And look who we have here. This is Saffron. She's one of our seniors from the class of 2020. And she is pretty much our go-to Zoo Magnet kid who takes care of all the animals here. Any words of wisdom for the incoming freshmen, Saffron?
Just be nice to the animals. They'll be nice back to you.
Aww.
They're very sweet if you're sweet to them, so you just gotta work with them.
So Saffron is going to be telling you a little bit about some of the animals in the agriculture area. And this is another storage barn that we have in the back here. Storage barn number 2. Wow, Andrew, this looks amazing!
Hi, I'm Jet. I'm a freshman from the class of 2023, and this is the part of the ag area where we have our raised planter beds. And in environmental studies, we plant like a lot of cool crops. So far, we've planted carrots, beets. We planted cauliflower in the greenhouse, but that didn't really work out. And then, yeah, and we're gonna show you a few of the crops that are here now.
And Jet happens to be my daughter also.
Oh yeah, that too.
So these look like peppers that are growing over here. We've got some oregano and some parsley. Oh, this is new. Someone must have planted something. I don't know what it is. Let's look. Oh, Swiss chard. Oh, these are clearly some sort of squash. Let's see what it says on the other side. Oh, look, there's a strawberry growing. So we actually grew these first in the greenhouse, and now that it's spring, it got planted. Oh, cucumbers. That's what that is, not squash, cucumbers. There's a bunch of tomatoes, more strawberries. Oh, so many tomatoes. So hopefully in the fall, when we get in here to cook, we will make some meals with some delicious tomatoes. And there's a cat. Why not? So this is such a gorgeous space, but this is what we use for growing a lot of our crops. We did a composting lab back here. And this is only a small part of the agriculture area, but this is the side that's right outside of our classroom.
This is another little hidden treasure in the agriculture area, but we have this little turtle pond, and there's a little turtle that's hanging out. We probably have maybe 10 turtles in here of varying sizes. We have some koi fish in here as well. Oh, he is not afraid. Maybe I'll get ya. You want me to get you? I will get ya. I gotcha. Here he is. Hi, turtle. Does not look happy about it. You want to go back? Oh, look, there's some more turtles. And there's the koi fish. Oh, so many turtles. Here you go. You can go back in if you'd like. Nice turtle. Right on the other side of the koi pond, or the turtle pond, we have this nice grass area and this stage where we have Zulapalooza every year. And Zulapalooza is on after our Earth Day celebration. We have a like a little festival, music festival, an environmentally themed music festival. And we have bands that play up here. Everyone brings their blankets, hangs out here. We have little tables and people do tie-dye and different things. And then right outside of the agriculture area, we have food trucks. And so it's a really amazing night. This is one of my favorite things in the agriculture area. It's our greenhouse, and it is a really amazing space because we get to have a head start on growing things throughout the year before we plant them in the rest of the agriculture area. So let me take you inside the greenhouse. Nothing is growing in here at the moment, but usually all year long it is full. And it has temperature control, moisture control, lights that go on 24 hours whenever we're growing, so we can really get a jump start on growing things. We have all of this space for growing plants. Here's our tool shed where we have a plethora of tools. We have this potting room, so let me show you this. So we have this potting room where we can use it to transplant, but we have actually converted it into a pretty special place. So let me show you what it looks like. We use it for plant transplanting, but we've also outfitted it as a kitchen. And this is my environmental studies class. And today my mom is here and she's helping my students learn about making lumpia. So today we're just making all the vegetable lumpia, and then maybe we'll have my other class tomorrow make the meat lumpia. I know, see, when you have many hands it goes by quick. So hopefully we will be harvesting some plants from the agriculture area, learning about how to care for animals and plants, looking at environmental issues involved with agriculture, which is actually, it's one of the most, agriculture can be one of the most damaging things that humans do to the environment, affecting water, affecting air quality, air pollution, climate change. But there are water depletion, all kinds of resource depletion, but we're going to be looking at sustainable ways to manage agriculture in our class. So now we are going to get over to the animal side. I don't know if you heard that, but we have some peacocks that are calling us right now. And there is actually a peahen that is sitting on an egg right now. So let's see if we can see any creatures over there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the gate where we go in to go to our classrooms over here that had the greenhouse and everything else. And you just cross this little area here, whoop, 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 and cross over to this gate. And this is the side that has all of the animals. So let's check out the animals. So here is our vineyard with all of our grapes growing on this side. And over here, we got some tortoises. Look at this beautiful tortoise over here. Oh, you're so cute. There's the peahen, and apparently she is sitting on an egg. Let's see if we can see it if she gets mad at us. Look, the peahen totally laid an egg. such a beautiful baby. I wonder if it's fertilized. There's the peahen walking away. And here is the male peacock. Look at how magnificent he is. Oh, look at the tail. I really hope that that egg is fertilized so we get a little baby peacock. You magnificent beast! Oh, we missed you. You look so healthy. Your feathers are iridescent now. Look at your waddle. It's so waddleicious.
What? He's been doing...
Here are some of our beautiful male pigs. I think that this is... Who are these pigs, Jet? Geo and Wilbur. Geo and Wilbur, that's it. Here, you want a little carrot? Here you go, Wilbur. Boop. Have a carrot. Is it good? Is it good? Is that crunchy? Sorry, I threw one at your head. This little piggy is Scarlet, and she's very noisy. Here you go, Scarlet. Don't get mad about it. It's just a carrot. It's organic. Eat it. There you go. It's tasty. These are the other two piggy sisters. This is Vilma and Daphne. Do I know which one is which? No, I don't. Here you go. Here's some carrots. Here's some spinach. If you hold your hand flat, they'll eat out of your hand. We've got many, many ducks over here. And they are very well trained to go right back into their little pen here. And they wander throughout the whole agriculture area. And the pigs do too. All right, so where are we now, Saffron?
This is our pregnant lady.
Oh,
She's in
hello,
California.
pregnant lady. Beautiful. You're so
she was
clean.
in here with a
Here,
male.
want to give her a little...
So pretty.
Beautiful.
She was in here with a male, and then the male started getting aggressive, so we moved him out because we're pretty sure that she's pregnant.
Oh,
This is her
okay.
nest box, but it's not filled with anything yet because she's like pretty early in her pregnancy,
Oh,
and she
okay.
keeps using it as a litter box, so I just have
Oh.
to clean it every day, and I don't want to put it in like any bedding.
Oh, okay.
We can tell when she's close to being ready to give birth because she'll start pulling out her fluff. Like if you notice on the female rabbits, they have this little ruff under their neck. That's exclusively for just pulling out fluff for making the nest, and only female rabbits have those.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so she'll start pulling out fluff and making a nest when she's ready. This rabbit is the best mother ever. She's had like, her last litter was like 8.
Oh
little-
my
little
goodness.
rabbits. She had so many and she took amazing care of them. She can tell that that one is like ready to be a mom because she's been pulling out her fluff and trying to make
Oh,
nests. She has
sweet.
such a maternal instinct.
Well, she has a lot of fluff to give.
This one's the daddy.
Oh, hello, Daddy. You must be so proud. Yes, Icarus, I'm sorry. We didn't forget about you. We know that you're here. So that stuff underneath?
That. So only females get that. It's a rough to pull out fluff. These are actually, these 3 breeds right here, the New Zealand, North American Blue, and the Palomino, are all designed to be meat rabbits. So they're made for meat production and having like a higher like fat and muscle content on their body. So these are...
So we have 3 alpaca, and we're going to try to be quick because they spit. Hello, alpaca. This is the very spitty one. You want a carrot? Is that good? You want one too? Back there. Oh, I'm sorry. I just pegged you in the head. Here you go. You want one? Here, have one. Oh, you're very good, alpaca. Here you go, alpaca pants. There you go. Hello, little sweetie. Oh, you're so sweet. Do you like me? I hope you don't spit at me.
He has ripped jeans. Look at his knees.
Oh, is that good? Aren't these delicious? Here you go, little pants. There There you go. Isn't that good? Here are our donkeys. Hello, donkeys. Have a carrot. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Here. Here. There you go. Of course. There you go.
Sounds like how they eat in Minecraft.
Sounds great. Very crunchy.
I have spinach right now if you want.
And here we go into the goats. Don't come out, you, okay? Come on, hurry up, girls. That is Annabelle. So this is the area right behind the rabbit hutch, and you would never believe that we had so many good times with this manure pile. We did a composting lab, so we had to try to determine what are the best conditions to get the manure to turn over into usable soil as fast as it can. So compost is organic plant matter versus manure, which is going to be the animal poo. So we have a lot. And remember that we have 5 more acres on this side of the agriculture area. So we have our orchard over here where we have nectarines, a lot of citrus, loquats, and then we have more garden and some fountains. We also have some more raised planter beds on this side as well, some more roses. So it's just a really amazing space. So we had a lot of adventures in the agriculture last year, and I can't wait to teach you guys. And not sure exactly what the beginning of the school year is going to look like, but hopefully we will be able to get out here and utilize this space. Get your hands dirty, get your hands on some animals, get some interaction with them, learn how to cook, water quality testing, soil quality testing. Gosh, we have so many things to do and a bunch of field trips. So let's see what this next year holds for all of you. All right, can't wait to meet you guys all in the fall.